me just check YouTube just to be safe. All right, yeah, we're good. We're alive, and we're ready. All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 4. This time of Battle Drive Hoops. I am Drew, and joining me as always on this beautiful Sunday is Tony A. Nice.
And Mike Myers.
Yo.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's nice. He's a nice Mike Myers. He's not that Mike Myers, but I'm sorry I had to. But welcome everybody to the show. We're live on YouTube this time, and I say this time because I fucked up last week. Long story short, we had a pretty good show last week, and I made a mistake on putting a timer on our scheduled show from last Sunday. And basically, long story short, it's the best episode nobody's ever going to hear, because I decided to try new things. And in Justin from Spymaster T's words, that's what I get for trying new things. So this time we're live. We should be. Yes, we are live. We are on YouTube, and we're getting ready to talk about some basketball. So who wants to lead the way?
I guess I will. I love Sochan, but I think that the Spurs should trade him.
Yep, that was one of my topics. You're going to elaborate on that. Go ahead.
Spurs are playing quick. They're playing fast basketball. And they're doing a great job with it. But Sochan does not fit into that play style, even though he's one of the better defenders on the team. That's my opinion. Even though I really like his defense. Like, he plays better defense than most players on the team, but he messes up the flow offensively, and I think that he's somewhat of a liability on offense as well.
Yeah.
So if they could trade him, and sorry to interrupt you, Tony, if they could trade him and maybe a few other people and some picks and get a good power forward, I'd be happy with that.
Yep. I completely agree. That was one of my topics that I wanted to talk about. Before last game that we played, he was getting a lot of DNPs in the cup playoffs or whatever. A lot of DNPs. So that lets us know that the coaching staff doesn't trust him in big games. So they kind of slimmed down, the rotation, and we figured out who was who, and we performed, getting all the way to the finals without him, respectfully. So yes, I think that, and I had mentioned this to Mike during the off season. I was like, I don't know about that dude Sochan, man. That dude's really, really gonna have to work on his offensive game, and he's gonna have to just do better. Like, defense can only get you so far in this league nowadays. So now, centers are shooting threes. Power forwards are shooting. Everybody can shoot the three ball. It's just limitless basketball. So he had to evolve his game over the summer. I saw him, we saw clips of him, throwing up some 3-point shots and stuff like that. But it just wasn't enough. I feel like when he gets the ball, he's looking to pass. He's not looking to try to be aggressive and take it to the hole. Like, it's referring back to Mike, he's a liability offensively, respectfully. And with this league, everybody's shooting up all these shots. It's just not going to take you too far doing that. So yeah, I think that we should go and explore him on the trade market. Get him somewhere like in a Portland or like a Charlotte or something like that he'll be able to get some playing time and showcase his skills. And maybe his game will evolve.
That was actually going to be one of my topics, is Jeremy Sochan. I think it's time to go bye-byes with him.
Yeah.
And like y'all mentioned, I forget which one of y'all said it, but explore some trade options, get a better big man. I think we said this last week, where the Spurs are already guard heavy, but they could use another big man, because I loved Luke Cornet. I think he's great. Olenek has been decent. Bismack Biyombo, he's there. He's there for a reason. He's a body, as Tony would tell me back in the day. He's a body. But yeah, they could use another decent big man that can really thrive. And by decent big man, I mean just somebody that can grab rebounds and block shots, and who's actually like well abled, and also someone who's a little bit on the young side.
Giannis.
No, that's not gonna happen. I don't know who's out there personally. If y'all know, I'm not sure. But I want to bring this up. So Jeremy Sochan, he put up something on his Instagram, and he put in a dark place. However, the candle is still burning, and just proceeded to put up just random photos of him. So he's clearly frustrated with his role on the team, and he is a liability offensively. And before, when the team wasn't that great, I think he was like the starter, or he was a starter. But now that you got Wemby, now that you got Fox, you got Harper, you got Johnson, who's crazy off the bench. You got Devin Vassell's shooting the lights out. Luke Cornett, who's a great defensive anchor. Sochan is just, again, he's that guy that you put him out there for garbage minutes against garbage teams. But and it looks like they're kind of grooming Bryant for that role. But
yep, I wanted to point that out. I was just waiting on me to cut you off. As soon as I saw that second pick in the draft that we got, I told Mike, I was like, Sochan, the clock is ticking on him. As soon as I saw that Bryant pick, I knew exactly what he was. He's his replacement.
Well, it seems like Barnes is kind of slowing down. So I mean, 2 or 3 years, I think Carter Bryant will be prepared to take over that starting role from him.
Carter Bryant's ceiling is so high. He has a jump shot, and he's athletic. Everything that we want Sochan to be, and we drafted him in with our second pick. I'm sorry to cut you off, Drew. I wanted to go into that, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just kind of finishing up, but yeah, I mean, with everybody on the team that's kind of doing their job, Sochan just very much feels lost in the shuffle. And I mean, again, maybe he can have like an explosive second half of the season, but at this point, I don't really think the team needs him. In my opinion, I don't know, trade him for somebody that's maybe a little bit taller and bigger and more believable in that spot. I personally have never been a fan of undersized power forwards or centers.
He's a small forward in my opinion. I'm just sorry. He's a small forward. I'm just sorry, but that's just the way the league is.
Right, and also I think kind of like Al mentioned a few weeks ago, where the league is so much different that you have big men shooting threes. And granted, I don't like that personally. But it's just how the league works, and Sochan hasn't really evolved, so to speak. He's just still kind of a very one-note player. So I do think the Spurs, from the way it looks, they might just unload him.
I was telling Tony that there was a lineup. I was curious to see a lineup with like Castle, Sochan, Bryant, Wemby, and Luke Cornett. That defensive lineup, I would be curious to see how they do, because nobody is scoring on that lineup.
Yeah. Real quick, Sochan, and I agree with you. On that. I agree with you. Sochan style of play would have been really, really good for the 1990s. When Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan, that era, where you just had niche players to come in and do a niche thing in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. He would have been perfect in that era. This era is a little bit different. So his services, they're going to be really, really niche on a team that really needs that. But one more thing, and y'all can have it with Sochan. He should have started shooting threes 2 years ago. He should have the clips that we saw him in this past off shooting threes. He should have did that the year prior, to get ahead of schedule. but because now we drafted somebody that's your replacement, and you're trying to catch up for lost time, which you should have been doing that a year ago. So go ahead. Not bad. Sorry about that.
Right. Let me segue into a hot take that I have. And I don't really think it's a hot take, but it's just kind of my personal opinion. So, I like Harrison Barnes. Obviously, let me kind of start off by saying I want to keep Harrison Barnes. I don't want to trade him. I do think the Spurs should consider benching him and put Cornet at the power forward spot, because Cornet and Wemby, I think, go well together. I mean, they call themselves French vanilla for a reason. And Barnes, again, love Barnes. The guy's a ring. The guy can shoot. Lately, he hasn't really been shooting the ball that well, ever since the Vegas Cup. But I mean, I felt this way even before the season started. Even after Barnes and Fox were carrying this team when Wemby was out. I do think they should consider benching him, and that already creates a very stacked bench for the Spurs. So I do think his talents are better suited off the bench, and just that defensive tandem of Wemby and Cornet would be awesome to watch. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Speaking of that, I think I was kind of upset that he didn't play really in the fourth quarter against the Knicks. Like, if we would have had French vanilla, like, they wouldn't have been getting all those rebounds, the Knicks, because that's one of the reasons we won. They were getting rebounds like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Cornet didn't play except for like maybe the first minute or two of the quarter, and I was waiting for French vanilla because I thought Mitch was backlogging French vanilla for the fourth quarter, and then he didn't play Cornet the whole rest of the game. I was confused by that.
And let me caveat off of that. Mitchell Robinson is a top 5 offensive rebounder in this league. Mm-hmm. This dude, he will chew up every offense, something coming off the glass. That's his niche. He's like a Kevon Looney, just a great offensive rebounder. So yes, for that lineup, and like OKC, like, we need our bigs. We can't be masking Keldon at the 4, Sochan at the 4, Barnes at the 4, or whatever. When they put big man out, you got to map big man. You got to do it, or you're just going to get out rebounded, and that's what proceeded to happen.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah,
but some teams, we can mask that. Like I was the Warriors, because they play Draymond Green at center. So they don't really have any big men. So, that could work, but I feel like it's situational with putting a 3 at the 4, because some teams like to play fast and don't really have a center. So, some teams we'll be able to get away with it. I think it's all based off of matchups.
Yeah, that's kind of, you kind of hit the nail on the head, because there are a lot of people that were, bitching at the Spurs. It's like, how do you beat the Thunder, but you can't beat the Knicks? And it's funny you bring up matchups, like, because Justin brought that up as well, because at the end of the day, not just basketball, but in any sport, whether it's football, it's all about matchups. The Knicks have better bigs in the... other than, obviously, Wemby and Cornet, the Knicks' bigs were better than the Spurs' bigs, especially the ones off the bench, because the Spurs don't really have any bigs off the bench other than Cornet. And they couldn't get any offensive or defensive rebounds. They just kind of gave up offensively. And I said it before, they played brilliant basketball for the first 3 quarters, and then as soon as that fourth quarter happened, they just kind of took their foot off the gas, and they stopped missing shots. The Knicks start making shots. They stop playing defense and getting rebounds. The Knicks start playing defense and get rebounds, all without Karl Anthony Towns. And, Mitchell Robinson was the one who kept him... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say that as soon as Cat got into foul trouble and Mitch Robinson came out, that's when they started doing good.
That's Mitchell Robinson was eating up them rebounds, man. Couldn't stop that. Yeah, he just stays hurt all the time. If he can be available, they're going to be a force. They might even come out the I really don't see anybody. Cleveland fell off. It's just the Pistons. The Pistons are the only thing, but the Pistons have a big man too. They got Jalen Durham, so we'll see about that.
Yeah.
But also in some good news. So with the Nuggets lost, I believe it was last night. The Spurs are now they moved up to second place.
Wow.
They're currently tied with Denver for second place. They're both 20-7. Granted, this probably won't last long because you never know. But this team is just continues to impress. You know, a team full of a lot of young players, some vets, but a lot of young players. I want to play a video for you guys. So let me know if you can hear this. Give me 1 second. Oh, hold on. Let me go back to my channel. All right, let me know if you can hear this. Oh shit! Hold on.
Combined effort of light skins, then the.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me play it. So, it's a TikTok video where it's a guy talking about the Spurs. I want to give him credit. His name is CB. So let me start over.
I've never seen a more destructive team or combined effort of light skins than the 2025-2026 Spurs. Like, they're an actual problem. Like, the evil light skin term can only get to a certain point. What they were doing to the Knicks before they sold in the fourth quarter, yeah, that was devious. The Western Conference Finals is already set. I'm just letting y'all know. I've never seen a more...
Wow, he said it's what a hot take. What a hot take. That is a hot take. That is a hot take. I'm sorry, I gotta address it again. I am tired of these random Spurs fans or random people that are suddenly looking at what we got going on over here and, you know, making all these hot takes because we got Wemby, you know, and they have never ever been with us from the cradle to the grave. I just have to air that out. I'm tired of that happening. You know, just you don't know what's going on over here. Stay in your lane. Go follow the Knicks. Go follow the Lakers. Go follow the glamour teams. You know, we got a little small market people that actually know what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? I just hate, you know, people that be trying to get over here and steal our thunder. That's my take on it. But that's a hot take.
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you because, you know, for the longest time, you know, back then, even when they were good, when they had Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker and David Robinson and Bruce Bowen, even, you know, number two, you know, they were still considered boring. They weren't flashy enough. They weren't sexy enough. But now that they have the brand new toy, you know, Wemby and Stephon Castle and Daaron Fox and Dylan Harper, all of a sudden you have these fake motherfuckers coming out of the woodwork like, oh, the Spurs, they're exciting. I like them. It's like, no. You don't get to do that. No. Go back to your Lakers. Go back to your Bulls. Go back to your Knicks, your Warriors, and leave us alone. This is for real Spurs fans.
Yeah, they call us Spurs family for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You got anything to say about that, Mike?
Nope.
He's gonna say that a bit though. Okay, cool. But I want to caveat to what you're saying though. Kind of segue. It feels good to finally be winning again. Man, we have had a rough 5-6 years, 7 years. Like we've had it pretty rough the past few years. Losing is man, it's been tough. Even last year, it was tough for me in Wemby's second year because I felt like we should have been winning last year, but then I kind of saw how the pieces to go. But I just want to say, as Spurs fans, like I'm just happy to see somebody like the Wizards or like the Grizzlies or something like that, or the Pelicans on their schedule, and just like look at it and just kind of like, that's an automatic win. Not literally, but like that's the same type of feeling that I had when we were winning our championships back in the day. And, you know, we would always own the Utah Jazz. Like, I forgot, we ran off like 10 straight years of beating the Utah Jazz. It was some crazy record where the Utah Jazz would just never beat us. And, you know, I feel like we can, you know, we're getting back to our old ways. And as Spurs fans, we're not used to losing like that. Like, it's like selfish as it sounds, like we're winning and we got spoiled. No,
you're definitely right. I mean, I'm at the point where it's just like I can't miss a game. And I miss Friday's game because I was out, but like of course I watched the highlights, and it feels good to get back to that point of like this should be a win. And
Yeah.
it feels better to watch games where like they shouldn't win, i.e., LA, OKC, and then I let my guard down for a little bit against New York, where I'm like, all right, well that trophy's gonna look nice next to the 5 other trophies, and then it's like, fuck. But it feels good to be happy about this team playing better again. We had to endure 6 years of suffering, which a good thing can't last always, and I get that. I commend Brian Wright for slowly building this team. For drafting guys like Keldon, like Devin, and then obviously eventually Wemby, and then Stephon Castle, who nobody saw winning Rookie of the Year, but he did. So back-to-back Rookie of the Years, and also getting another future, franchise player in Dylan Harper, who just oozes confidence.
Man,
not even 21 years old.
Dylan might actually have the highest ceiling on the team. You're talking about a guy that's 7 years away from his prime, but he looks like he's played in the NBA for multiple years already. Like, he's hitting shots like nothing. He's getting into the paint at will. And, man, he is on another level. And he's only been in the NBA for a few months. It's pretty crazy.
good genetics. Good genetics.
Yeah, he does have good genetics. His dad was a beast, too.
Yeah, his dad had like 5 trophies, I think. Like 4 or 5 trophies.
No, that's 5, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, through with the Bulls, through with the Lakers. Yeah, that kid, he plays with so much confidence, and he's not even 21 yet. He's not even legally old enough to drink. And the way he just bullies himself into the post against anyone. Like, he even says straight up, like, I'm not afraid of anything. Like, I want to take your biggest guy and just, like, go right at him and get these layups. And he had his career high the other night against Washington. At, what was it, 24? He even had a pretty good game in the Cup championship. So I don't know. I think eventually he might. I want to see all 3 of these guards on the same court together.
And that might kind of go what y'all were saying earlier about Barnes. He might be on the clock. I'm not saying just for starting minutes, because I think we're ahead of schedule. Like, I thought we would be at this point next year. Like, I wasn't expecting all of this right now. So, like, we are really ahead of schedule, and all that cup did was just give us more experience and give us more confidence. Like, dang, like, we could beat these guys. Like, we're at that level. We can do it. So yeah, I think Harrison Barnes is on the clock, not as far as trading, but just as, look, we're gonna go ahead and start playing these 3 dudes, and we're gonna go ahead and slide you to the bench.
I would also like to see all 3 guards play. I think that would be unstoppable.
Man, that's a lot of playmaking. A lot of playmaking.
I mean, because, like, realistically, you could put Castle at small forward, because he's like, what, 6'6"?
6'7". Yeah, they're both like 6'6", 6'7". Harper and
Fox.
Castle. Fox is 6'4", 6'3". It's weird, huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I know Fox, he's averaging 23, 24, which is perfect. We're good. But I know it's weird for him stepping into a situation where, like, damn, like, I don't really have to do that much.
Well,
I don't have to go his numbers are going to go down.
Right.
But it's actually not a bad thing.
What's funny is I was thinking the same thing earlier while I was kind of, like, going over what we should talk about on the show, is you notice how Fox, like, is starting to, his numbers are dipping just slightly, and that's not a bad thing, because, like, he was in a situation for years where he was on a team that wasn't good, I mean, they only made the playoffs once, and he was the best player on the team. And then he comes here and realizes, oh, I don't need to do that much. You know, the only time you ever really need to do that much was when Wemby was out. Wemby and Castle was out. Now that Castle is back and Harper's back and Wemby's back, he's like, shit. I have these young guns on the team. I just need to score when it's needed. You know, and this isn't the first time where we've seen something like this. I mean, because we just talked about, you know, Dylan Harper's dad. You know, Ron Harper, that's his name. You know, he played for Cleveland, you know, for a few years, and he was I think he was an all-star in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. And then he went to the Clippers, and then he went to the Bulls and realized, oh, I have Michael Jordan. I don't need to do shit. I just need to score when needed. You know, Kevin Garnett, same thing. He was with the Timberwolves for years, and goes to the Boston Celtics and realizes, oh, maybe I just need to be a defensive guy. You know, I don't need to be the franchise guy. The franchise guy is already Paul Pierce. So, I do see that for Fox. I wouldn't be surprised if he does maybe become the number 2 or 3 option. Now that you see Castle is, as far as the guards go, now you see Castle was playing with so much more confidence and playing more aggressively since he came back, and same thing with Harper. So it's nice to see.
Castle has ascended, and what's it? So for Fox, it's let's not get it. Let's no respect. Fox is still that dude. Like he was clutch player a couple years ago for a reason. Mm-hmm. He'll get you a bucket. If you need him, instead of Wemby to take the last shot, he can do that. Just, he's that guy.
No, agreed. He's still young. I mean, he's not even 30 yet. So it's not like he's like broken down or anything. But yeah, he's still there. But like you notice how he's not always the guy when the team's at full strength. And I think we had this conversation a few weeks ago where we talked about, is the team going to have chemistry problems? And so far, they're doing just fine because I think everyone knows their role.
Yeah, they really adapted and figured out their roles really fast, even though they only played a few games together, all of them. So it's kind of impressive.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't hurt when it's just for us to see though. They've been playing together in practice at full strength, some days or sometimes, and we haven't seen it for whatever. So, and it doesn't hurt because Dylan Harper, this is making Dylan Harper better. It doesn't hurt that you're going against one of the premier guard defenders in the whole NBA, and he's your practice partner. Like, if you're like, if I could go around and I could do this on freaking Castle, and y'all put somebody else in front of me on some random team, some random point guard or shooting guard, I'm going against the best. I'm just going to go around him. And that's what he's doing.
Oh, okay. I was just waiting. I think it also helps for this young team that they got Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker at their disposal.
Didn't think about that one.
Like they can literally just show up to practice anytime. Well, I imagine they're at practice every day, and they're just there to just like provide all this knowledge. And for someone like Wemby, he's able to talk to Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And for players like, Fox, not really. I can see Fox taking advice, but more so younger players like Harper and Castle, they can just like go up to Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili anytime they want and just ask for advice. Like that's just that helped. That's another key factor into this team's success.
Yeah. And they're both lefties, Harper and Fox, so they can go right over to freaking one of the best shooting guards to ever do it. Manu Ginobili, he's a lefty too. Manu Ginobili, was he a lefty?
Yeah,
he was a lefty.
Yeah, that was like a whole deal.
Yeah.
He always went left, and nobody could still guard him.
Man, and he was stingy defensively. He's a gambler. I wouldn't want to go with him to the Vegas table, because I don't know if I'm going to hold him or fold him. I don't know. You don't know what you're getting with him. But what I do know, he will make key pivotal decisions and get you a steal. But then sometimes he might go for a steal, and it might end up in the whole damn. We lose the whole damn series because he wanted to gamble.
Shit, when he blocked James Harden's shot in that deciding game, I remember that to this day. Like, that was legendary.
Yeah, man. And he would guard Kobe. I mean, Kobe has said, Manu Ginobili gave him fits. He was a great defender, man. That is a buller. There's not too many. I don't really see anybody in the league like a Ginobili defensively. We already know what he does offensively, but somebody that'll just square you up, D you up, and just gamble all day. And that was his whole niche. And I don't really see I don't see any gamblers on defense anymore.
How do you think a Manu would do in today's league? A younger Manu.
Oh man.
Oh man. Elite.
Right.
Yeah, with the pace of the game, it would definitely be elite.
Yeah. He was the one that brought the Euro. He came over here from freaking Argentina, where everybody's like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "Oh, he's a traveler." It's like, "Nah, he's taking 2 steps. We just weren't used to seeing it." Man, that dude's Euro was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all these the league is predominantly like European players. You can imagine the ones from back in our day. Like, I think they really would have thrived in today's league.
Oh man, do you remember when he went through Team USA with Argentina? Mm-hmm. Him and Luis Scola beat our asses, man. The league, they don't know about Ginobili. Ginobili was that dude. He gold medaled Team USA. Gold medaled them.
Which was led by Duncan.
And then later and then later on that season, the Spurs won a championship.
Man, yeah. He could easily start, man. Yeah, it's not even discussion, man. That guy, man. And he was humble. He wasn't all about the flash, the glitz, the glamour. He doesn't mind coming off the bench and filling the role. Everybody knows Manu could have been a starter easily. But he humbled himself, and he was just like, this is what the team needs. Kind of like Keldon. Hey, look, this is what the team needs. I'm off the bench. I know I'm a starter. Let's have at it. So, yeah, I just kind of want to segue into one thing. I have y'all's kind of thoughts on this real quick. Obviously, we know that Wemby is going to be a all-star, starter. Giving the games played, of course. He needs to play some games and get out there and stuff like that. And his situation with his grandma, rest in peace and stuff like that. All of that, hope he's doing good with that. But as far as Wemby, because we already pretty much know he's going to be a lock. Do y'all think that anybody else on the Spurs could make an all-star team or should be in as an all-star? My question to y'all.
Go ahead.
You could definitely take Fox. But I don't think anyone else on the Spurs will make it, but Fox and Castle, you can argue for both of them.
Fox kind of seems like someone that can take the reins, just based off of his numbers alone, and also how he was carrying the team during Wemby and Castle's absence. So that kind of seems like the more logical one. Castle, I don't see just yet. I think he has maybe.
He's knocking out the door.
Yeah, he's pretty much knocking out the door. I think he'll be ready as far as like all-star caliber in like another year or two. Harper, if he ever starts, could be an all-star. Vassell is an all-star waiting to happen. I don't think he ever will.
No.
But yeah, Wemby's pretty much the only lock, so to speak.
And Kessel did really good at the dunk contest and the game that he played in last year too for the All-Star game. He did phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a competitor.
And he almost won.
I think he should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fucking judges were like all crazy about Mac McClung. It's like, really?
That dude was great, but like he just jumped over something 3 times in a row. Like, come on, man, do something else.
Yeah, Matt McClain.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they need to work on that dunk contest. I can look at 4. I can give you 4 good NBA dunkers right now that I can be like, okay, he should be in the dunk contest. He should be in the dunk contest, and just pay the dudes the money. Give them like $1 million, man. Just do it. Like, but we got that going on with that. So, real quick. Okay, I got one more topic. Does anybody else have? Okay, let me just hop in this. How do you feel about us so far? Wemby coming off the bench. How we're integrating him off the bench. How do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like it's meshing? What are y'all's thoughts on integrating Wemby?
6th man of the year.
Hey, why not? I think he's been doing great. I think he's been doing a good job at really taking advantage of the minutes that he's been playing. And I mean, he had like 26 in the last game? 26 and 12 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, eventually I'm already waiting for him to just be a starter again. But good on them for kind of being patient with his injury and not really rushing him back. But yeah, like it wasn't that one game against OKC where he didn't play for the whole quarter and then he came back and he had like 20 something points. They really did a good job at backlogging his minutes, and especially with teams that aren't really that good, they're taking their time because they're like, yeah, we can kind of handle him without Wemby for a quarter. But I'm fine with it, but eventually I do want to see him back in the starting lineup.
It would be nice if he started as a power forward next to Luke Cornett, because I think everyone's going to have trouble with that lineup.
Yeah.
Even if you have Vassell as a small forward still. I would like that, but I know that we don't have any other bigs that can play center really. I mean, you could play Olenek, but we always everyone scores on him when he's the center, because he's not a defensive player, he's an offensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
in my opinion.
Yes, and you're 100% on that. Like, trying that out at him at the power forward, and that's one of the things that we kind of looked at in the offseason. It's like, is Wemby gonna go back to what he did the last season where he was just jacking up threes the whole time? Man, that dude came back these past 4 games. That guy's been getting in the paint. He's been getting in the paint. Yes, he has. He's been working inside out. He started, his first, 3 or 4 possessions. He's parking his ass like at the top of the key, kind of where Dirk likes it. At the top of the key or whatever, and they're throwing him the ball. And either if it's a pass or if he shoots over him, he is focusing in the inside out. And then I don't care if you do that and then you start shooting 2 or 3 more threes after that, but he's starting inside out. And I love whoever, I don't know who got in this dude's ear in the offseason. I can see a drastic change in his offensive game from what it was last year.
I really like that he's mixing it up too. Like, he's getting into the paint, but he's also getting into the mid range. He's found his mid range spots And once he's set up in the mid-range, nobody is stopping him for him. Nobody's blocking that. And you saw it when we played the Thunder. He's scoring on everyone in the mid-range. And when he can't make the threes, he should be aggressive and getting into the paint, for sure.
He has definitely took a page out of Kevin Durant's book when he's rising up over people. He'll do the one dribble, and he'll just, he hasn't really gotten to the point where he just, does the move. He kind of hesitates a little bit. He'll throw a little pump fake or whatever. It's like, dude, just go into the move. Just do it. Like, you're just taller than everybody. You're better than everybody. There's no for you to hesitate to, just go into your move. Kevin Durant, when he hits somebody at the top of the key or the block, he'll do one dribble and just rise over him. Just go into your move. But yeah, finding his little niche in that little area. And he looks Kevin Durant-esque on steroids.
Yeah, he really. That is his idol.
Yeah, and he also got.
It is.
Yeah, and he also got training from Kevin Garnett over the season.
And the Dream, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. And Kevin Garnett, he's an aggressive dude. He's like, why aren't you getting in the paint? Like, that dude was on that dude about getting in the paint. You know it. If anybody, maybe Aljuan wasn't so much, maybe. But I know Kevin Garnett he's old school. Like, that dude he's just like, why are you shooting so many threes? Go in the paint. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, he even offered his services to the Spurs. He's like, shit, I'll work for free if I can train Wemby. So
I'm not sure if his personality will resonate with the Spurs, because but I mean, I would love to have him.
Another thing. Sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say another thing about French Vanilla that I would like to see is, if we have Castle or Fox or Harper, we can get double screens with Wemby and Cornet. And there's so many options there, especially when Wemby's able to step back and get the three, and Cornet's able to go in, or they both go in, and then you got a really quick guard going around them. Like, there's so many options there. I would like to see, plays like that. Because I think that's unguardable.
Yeah. And I'm that was a sneaky signing. It was a dark horse signing. I call it a dark horse signing of the whole entire NBA offseason. And we got this guy on a 4-year, I think it's like 4-year, $40 million contract, Cornet. So he's going to be around for a while. I don't see us moving off of him anytime soon. He filled the role, and I'm sorry, to the audience, but this is what I call him, for Assy, Charles Assy. We had him last year on the Spurs, and that's just what he was. And he didn't really fill the role. Mike Myers loved the guy, Assy, but I didn't really see too much the value in him as far as, he would miss, bunnies. It's like, dude, freaking make the shot. He would piss me off when I go to Mike Myers' house and I watch that dude play. He was a dunce to me, but we definitely got to upgrade at the center position on the offseason.
Oh man, I can just picture you just going off on this dude. Oh, make the shot.
He was good at getting blocks, but he fouled a lot. That was one of the problems.
Can you give me that? He would miss bunnies though. He would miss bunnies, like stuff at the rim that is just like a no-brainer.
Sometimes, yeah. He got a lot of dunks though.
Yeah,
he would be dunking on people. I would be upset that he wouldn't be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I get mad when big guys aren't as aggressive in the post. Like, I do that with Wemby, because sometimes Wemby kind of has a clear look to just dunk it. I'm like, why did you just do a hook? Just dunk it.
Before
Good. Tony.
Okay, so yeah, I want to hit on one more thing. So after this Wizards game, we got OKC coming back. OKC Christmas Day.
Also, the 23rd and Christmas Day, we got OKC.
Yeah, it's back to back.
Oh, whoa! What do y'all think about that coming up down the pipe?
I think it's kind of cool that the Spurs have a Christmas Day game against what looks like it could be a future Western Conference Finals matchup. I don't know. We'll see. Like, the Spurs prove that they can take on OKC. They're definitely not afraid of OKC. And lately, the Thunder have been losing. I mean, they lost a game recently to Minnesota. So, I don't know. They probably won't surpass Golden State's record, but we'll see. But, I don't know. These should be some good ones, especially with the Spurs at full strength.
Mike?
Yeah, back to back against them will be a good test for our team. See who plays well and who doesn't play well. I don't really have much else to say about it, to be honest. I just hope they're good games.
What I have to say about it, it's definitely a good litmus test. If we can steal one of those games and we can come out like, oh, we're 2-1 against y'all, I think that would do wonders for our confidence and for the rest of the teams we play, for the rest of the year. It's a good litmus test for, our confidence.
Yeah, and Wemby should be getting more minutes by that point, hopefully. So, the only reason he didn't last game was because we were so far ahead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And I know y'all saw Wemby during that cup game against the OKC Thunder, man. That dude was loud. He was demonstrative. He was just, I'm pretty sure he was off-putting to OKC fans, just the way he felt like he was taking a bull by the horns. It was just like he was just emotion. Like he was like I'm here. Like, what are y'all gonna do? Y'all scared? Like, I'm here. What's up? Like, I felt like that's the impression he was giving off to the OKC Thunder. Like, yeah, y'all been kind of having y'all's way. With the Western Conference. I was injured. The thrombosis or whatever. But I feel like he made the statement like, I'm here now. Like, this is what y'all are gonna have to go through now for the next 10 years.
He did say that they're in a separate tier from everyone else in the NBA, which I do agree with. But it seems like the Spurs are gaining ground on that. So that will be another good 2 tests for this week to see if we can consistently keep up with them. We have the players to do it. We have the speed to do it, and SGA is human. Ant showed that. The other night in the last minute, he got a 3, he got a steal from him, and he got a block on him all in the last minute. So SGA can be guarded.
And I don't know if y'all have been noticing, but I don't know whatever it is. I don't know, and maybe it may be an illusion or something like that. But I feel like they're letting them play like everybody in the league more now. Like, they're not calling like checks and all that. Like, they're letting them like kind of like body and like if somebody gets knocked down off a little pity paddle, like kind of shove. Like, they're not calling it. Like, I don't know what it is, or what. And maybe the commissioner is, talking to these, refs and like, hey, let them play a little bit. Like, I don't know, and maybe I might be just dreaming, but like, I feel like it's kind of loosened up as far as the referee calling. Have y'all know anything on that?
Yeah, I think it's because so many people are saying things about it. I think Adam Silver, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Adam Silver wants the Thunder to be a dynasty, which they have the talent and the potential to be a dynasty, but I don't think they need the help from the refs, to be honest.
I mean, if you noticed, for the past was it 7 years? There hasn't been any back-to-back winners. So I don't know if he would want the team to be a dynasty. It's not like with Stern where he kind of made sure certain teams had the advantage, and maybe Silver does to an extent. But I can still see OKC going to the finals and winning it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell that the refs are actually doing their job when it comes to the Thunder. They're not allowing SGA to constantly get fouls, and even the coach of the Wolves even called him out. They're just like, they foul a lot, and yet we don't get shit. And then SGA, you touch him, and it's a fucking foul. So I like the idea of Adam Silver just kind of being like, oh well, I gotta do something about this. So yeah.
Yeah, and real quick before we get off the show, I feel like the OKC is like a baby Spurs. Like they're like what we were like when we started winning our championships back in the day. They're trying to start that up with the draft picks and the young players, and they got a good general manager and all of that. And we already did that. We already know like the recipe and all that because we still got the Atlanta draft pick this year, and pans out for them losing out for whatever. Trae Young, keep on sitting on the bench, but they've been doing better without him. But I feel like they're kind of like a baby Spurs as far as their trajectory, as far as longevity with draft picks and young players. And they're kind of following our motto.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Presti, who's the GM of OKC, where did he get his start? I'll let you guys guess. Where did Sam Presti get his start?
I don't know. Do you know?
Was it the Spurs?
Ding 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 ding. We have a winner. Yes. I mean, literally look everywhere in this league. There's a Spurs influence. Sam Presti. Who else? The coach of the Hornets. James Abrejo.
Borrego.
He was an assistant here. Mike Brown, the coach of the Knicks. He was an assistant coach here. He even Doc Rivers. Who else? There's more people. There's a lot of people, but the Spurs, they kind of have their hands in this league as far as like how to play basketball the right way and how to run a team the right way. So
yeah, the Spurs with Sam Presti, a lot of people. He was actually the one of the scouting directors for us in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. A lot of people credit him for the Spurs getting Tony Parker. Actually,
and there's no denying Sam Presti. He has an eye for talent. He can look at somebody in the draft combine or look at highlights, and I don't know what he does. Maybe see how their feet move or however he looks for that, but he has an eye for that, and that's a gift. Like if you can just spot somebody and just be like, nah, he's not it. I could tell the way he moves his feet, or I could tell the way he dribbles his ball, or how he does this. Whatever he's looking at, he can tell. He can eye for talent because he went in and went in after SGA, and A is one of a kind. So he saw that for whatever he saw in SGA. It wasn't really seen, but I didn't really watch him when he played for the Clippers. So wasn't really looking at him because I just thought he was a normal guard. But yeah, Sam Presti has an eye for talent for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
And Tony Parker even said that when in his speech, he gave him credit and R.C. Buford for drafting him.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because Tony Parker almost went to the Celtics.
Really?
Yeah, he said, Boston kept telling me for weeks, we're gonna draft you, and on draft night they actually had a hat for him for Boston, And then Boston went with somebody else who I think only lasted like a year. And obviously, we know where Tony Parker ended up.
Do you think Tony Parker would have had the same career if he would have went to the Celtics?
No.
No.
He would be better, but he wouldn't have as many championships.
No.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
It would have been interesting, but obviously, the Spurs kind of have a knack for finding people and finding their strengths and hiding their weaknesses. They brought in Bruce Bowen, who had been playing the league for years, and then he became one of the best, defensive players in the league because of the Spurs, and he was a starter. And then he developed a three-point shooting shot. Who are some other players? The Spurs just have a knack for finding talent. Same thing with Manu Ginobili, who they drafted after their championship season in the second round, and he didn't come until like 3 years later.
And I think that the Spurs were like kind of the leaders. I'm not saying nobody else did it, but where we, specifically went out, seek out foreign players. Like, obviously we had like, Arvydas Sabonis and, and others that came in the league that were European, but I felt like we were the first team to like specifically like go out overseas to scout talent, because I think it was more so just going through the draft at that time.
I mean, I'll go ahead and say I think the Spurs were kind of the innovators of it, because before we had like very few foreign players and like very few good ones, because who was it? I'm blanking on the dude's name. Played for Portland, and he played for the Nets, and then not Deadlift Strip. I think it was Petrovic.
Oh, Petrovic, yeah, he was a good shooter.
Yeah, he passed away a while back when he was with the Nets, and then Detlef Shrimp. I guess Rick Smits, but didn't he play for a U.S. team, for a college team?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
The Flying Dutchman, as Reggie Miller would call him. And then, Tony Kukoc, and then Dirk, who took a while to kind of really become the player who he was. But yeah, the Spurs, I think, are the team that really perfected it, because they were able to find gold, in very small places. And it wasn't just Manu, it wasn't just Tony, Fabricio Alberto. He had some pretty good years, with this team.
Luis Scola.
Well, Luis Scola didn't play for the Spurs. He played for the Rockets.
Rasho Nesterovic.
Well, I'm talking about draft, like specifically like drafting players.
Okay.
Players like George Hill, and then trading him for number 2. But yeah, just again, the Spurs know talent, and Sam Presti worked here, and he obviously knows talent. So I'm just gonna close it out like that.
Perfect.
Good end.
But Mike, tell your Antonio Daniels story.
Oh, there we go.
So Antonio Daniels, he I don't know if he still does, but he used to run a basketball league that I played in. I played against him and also against Devin Brown. I actually had to guard Devin Brown in the league. Basically, he basically had the most stacked team in the league, and he didn't really play that much because he was always busy. Mm-hmm. I think he was already doing the analyst stuff, but he showed up the one time I did play, and I was doing pretty decent. And we were going back. Our teams were going back and forth at that time because our team was decent 3-point shooting. And then he comes in and he just knocked 6 straight threes to sink our team, and we lost by like 20-something points.
Jeez.
And it was awesome and terrible at the same time. Fun though.
Yeah, and I want to relay off to Drew. Go ahead and tell him about our Antonio Daniels story.
Well, Mike, do you remember a place called Home Court America?
I know of it, but not that well.
Yeah, it was off of Callahan. Actually, right across the street from Sprouts on Callahan, or used to be.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we used to go there every summer when we were in high school, and just play basketball and goof around. And we heard that Antonio Daniels would go there every year, and a friend of mine said that he was kind of a dick. Like, he didn't want to sign autographs, or he wasn't friendly or whatever. And he wasn't necessarily like that to me per se, but I can kind of tell he was a dick. Like, he had dickish qualities. So I played basketball on a team against him, and I'm sorry, Anthony, but I got to be honest, you didn't want to play. you were like,
I didn't want. Yeah.
You were like, that's an NBA player. Like, that's an NBA player. I want to play against him.
Yes, he got me.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I'm just like, really? Come on, just play. You're like, no, it's an NBA player. I'm like, whatever. And so I went out there and played, and I didn't score any points, but I was just like, all right, I'm not going to score, but I'm just going to play defense. And I remember Antonio Daniels was trying to fool me into, like, turning the ball over to him, because I can hear somebody go, pass it to me, I'm your teammate. I'm like, that doesn't seem like someone who's my teammate would say. So I kind of glanced around. He was right there. I'm like, no, I ain't giving you the ball. And so, yeah, I just hustled and played defense. And one of my teammates, he was like, yeah, good job, man. You really hustled out there. So that's my Antonio Daniels story.
So the league we played in was a church league. Mm-hmm. So he was pretty nice, but that might be why. He did talk a bit, but he had the game to back it up, so no one could really say anything.
Yeah.
Well, now he's a commentator for the New Orleans Pelicans, so yeah.
Yeah.
Good to it, though.
Real quick though, our stories line up though. Hey, do you remember when he was stacking his stuff, Drew? When he was like, hey, I want him on my team, I want him on my team, I want him on my team. You remember when he was stacking the deck?
Vaguely, but that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But
usually people at that skill level, they want to play with the worst players to see if they can win. But for him, like, he didn't want anybody to have any like glimmer of having hope. He would stack the deck and he will freaking put his freaking foot on your throat, and that was it. That he didn't want to make it seem like you had a chance.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you're someone who wasn't that good, that makes sense. If this was like Tony Parker showing up to Home Court America, he'd be like, yeah, I can do a lot with less.
Yeah.
Or if Tim Duncan showed up, or Manu. But Antonio Daniels, who was like the second or third option off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, he had my favorite players. And actually, I used to play with him on NBA Live. I think it was 98 or 99. And I used to play with him because he was one of my favorite players. And he had like a 68, 69 overall rating. But I would still try to play with him off the bench to try to, get him to score some points. But up until then, I'm in person, I stopped playing with him. So, one of my Antonio Daniels stories. But I used to play with Devin Brown, though. Devin Brown, he had like a 66, 67 overall rating. Real quick before we get off, I actually my mom knew his dad, who was a barber. So I would go and I would get my hair cut over there. And I never saw Devin Brown at the shop, but his dad was frequently there. But then whenever Devin Brown signed his contract, that big contract, he stopped coming around so much. or whatever because he had money or whatever. And I, well, luckily I don't know how it happened, but my mom contacted his dad, and he got him to give me a haircut. Man, Drew, I told you, man, he fucked up my shit.
Was this when we were teenagers?
Yes, bro. Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, he had a barber shop over there by Lackland Air Force Base, like military, where that QT is. Kind of a Barbach area right there, that little 151 or whatever, right there by Lackland. The barber shop right over there. And we used to go there. It used to be a hot barber shop at the time. But yeah, man, he fucked up my shit, fucking Drew. Fucked it up. And he could get away with it because, I mean, his son was a millionaire. So I was just like, well, I just got to take this L because I think my mom was trying to talk to him at the time. But anyways, let's cut it out.
That's a good way to end the show. Hey, anyone listening on the YouTube feed, thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. The Experience channel is currently at 182. So, and of course, I'll be making some reels, some shorts from this episode. And yeah, that's about it. Leave a like and a comment and share. So that's about it from me. Guys, you have anything else to close out the show with?
Enjoy the Spurs game tonight.
Spurs go.
Go Spurs, go.
Yep.
Peace.
Yep.